Hillary Clinton. Tonight, I'm speaking to you not as Secretary of State or as a senator or as a First Lady, but as a relatable woman on a couch. Hello!
All right, that's from Saturday Night Live, the subject of one of my Gimme Fives today. Joining us now is Matt Lewis, senior contributor for the Daily Caller and contributing editor for The Week. Matt, you wrote a great piece about Hillary's other presser problem, and you say she was utterly unlikable. Welcome aboard. So you really think that Hillary could be finished when it comes to putting her presence in the White House again?
Well, I have to tell you, this was the first time in about a decade that I have thought, wow, a Republican could actually win the next presidential election. I'm not one of those conservatives who gets swept up and, you know, starts to be overly optimistic or quixotic. I mean, I've been somewhat realistic, I think, about Republican chances over recent years. But this performance was very bad, and I think that there were a lot of specific problems with it. Potential contradictions, but I think overall just the feeling that she's not likable, that she doesn't look like she doesn't look hungry, she looks bored and inauthentic, and those are things that voters get at a visceral level.
No, I couldn't agree with you more, and I think actually Saturday Night Live picked up on this, and I think this was an extension and maybe something that you could look at as proof of the fact that she has trouble relating to people, that she's not likable. She certainly hasn't been smooth since her book tour, and that includes the book tour, and the revelations of all the money, claiming she was poor, but yet the speech money, etc., the foundation. I just don't see how one person, even a Clinton, could overcome this and look people in the eye and make them think, hey, that's a good person who cares about me.
Right. And again, let me say, I know a lot of conservatives, you know, they sort of view everything through the prism of their ideology, and so they don't like any liberals. And I try to be like an analyst, right? I'm a Washington Redskins fan, but I can, you know, watch a game and tell you the Redskins played really badly. And I try to approach politics the same way. I've always thought that Barack Obama was very likable and very charismatic and had a certain cool quality about him. I don't see that with Hillary. She does not seem likable. She does not have that same thing that Bill Clinton and Barack Obama had, that likability factor. And I don't think it's my sort of, you know, ideology clouding. I think just empirically speaking, on TV, she looked very bad, very uncomfortable. And, you know, she might be good at politics in terms of the behind the scenes maneuvering, but I do not think she's a great politician.
No, I think most objective people, and even these days since this story broke of the emails, even people on the left would tell you, I think, the same thing. And I think that speaks volumes, either because A, they believe that in their heart, or B, they just don't want her in there. They rather have someone further to the left, like an Elizabeth Warren or maybe even O'Malley. What do you think the chances are that, you know, she faces another very tough primary battle?
Well, I think it's entirely possible. I was at Pat Buchanan, I think, who talked about being a political athlete. And I don't think she's a very good political athlete. She has a lot going for her, the name. She has the potential to be the first female president. That would be huge in terms of making history. But just, she doesn't perform as a candidate. And so we'll see if the other Democrats have the guts to actually run aggressive campaigns. Remember, Howard Dean in 2004 came out of nowhere representing the the Democratic wing of the Democratic Party.
Right.
I don't see, Martin O'Malley was on Morning Joe the other day. He's a charismatic guy, but he's not being aggressive. Let's see if anybody has the guts to really go after her on the left.
And along those lines, Matt, let me leave you. We have a minute left. Answer this. If she does get the nomination, do we have a Republican candidate, or will we have a Republican candidate emerge who has in your words, the guts to take on Hillary and not be afraid that, independents won't like it, or, the media is going to say you're anti-women, you better not say that, and just call it like it is for a change?
I think so. I think that, that Hillary's different. I think that there's a permission to go after Hillary. It might be harder in a way to go after another female candidate. So I don't think you're going to see too much pulling of punches or soft pedaling. I think that Hillary is fair game. And I think the Republicans ought to nominate somebody who's a sharp contrast to her, and they ought to go after her hard.
They ought to have, the RNC and all those people ought to have about 10 commercials already in the bank, ready to roll. Matt, great talking to you. Have a good weekend, sir.
Thank you. You too.
Take care. Pete Hoekstra joins us next, folks, the former chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, to talk about Hillary's excuse on the emails. Don't go away.